Are the pair about to duke it out over the last pool noodle? Hello all of you beautiful little demons, Jules here for WhatCulture.com, back again with another episode of the awesomely named and awfully hosted Tues Your Own Adventure, the weekly medieval format where I, the crown jewels of WhatCulture.com, take a list chosen by you, yes, you the person whose cat lovingly left them a toy in here just because they were in before I was setting up going make myself a coffee. It's his little corn buddy, Cobb. Alright mate? Yes. You going to join us today for today's adventure? Yes. Legend. Yes, you get to decide what list I dole out to you each and every week. And this week we are talking about video game endings. But not any video game ending. I'm talking about the ones that are just plain and utter nonsense. Now, sometimes video games can end things on a rather brown note, and arguably it's even worse than movies or books because these are endings tens, if not hundreds of hours in the making. Yet sometimes video game endings come along that aren't necessarily bad and just downright weird, and close the adventure out with somebody turning the tap on the nonsense spout and spraying everywhere. Oh, I can't control it! I'm sorry, James, I've doused you. Huh? In nonsense. So let's get on with today's list, shall we? As I'm Jules, this is WhatCulture.com, and these are 7 video game endings that are utter nonsense. Number 7, a music video, MDK. Now, MDK is one of those video games that sums up everything you need to know about it in its title alone, seeing as MDK is an abbreviation for murder, death, kill, and you will be doing a lot of these things across your time with this game. 1 part third-person shooter, 2 parts fever dream, MDK sees you play a reluctant janitor who is tasked with saving the world from giant city-sized machines that are draining the earth of its resources. However, if this sounds even remotely serious, then fret not, my dude, because everything is drenched with a sense of humour so thick and chewy, it's like the entire series has been dipped in nougat. Taste that humour. That wasn't a funny joke, was it, Cobb? No. He'll be a recurring character, I can feel it already. You've got a dog-human Goro hybrid, a mad scientist for a best mate / possible enemy, and a final boss that kind of looks like what would happen if your dog chewed up King K. Rool and spat him back out. In fact, it's here, in these closing moments, where things really take a deep dive off the edge of insanity. So let's set the scene here. You've got the final boss, Glut, who is over here just acting like a big old meat zeppelin. He's just sent his puke hounds over you, wave after wave of puke hounds you've then defeated, and then for some reason, in what makes the most sense out of a nonsensical situation, you decide to feed him your own dog mate, and your dog mate, Max, tears him apart from the inside out. It is glorious but utterly insane. But trust me, things are only going to get started, because what follows is a music video by French outfit Billy the Kick with their song Non Rien n'a changé. I'm sorry, what? French in this game? What the f***, James? I know you like your music, but seriously, even you must have been blown away at this point. Oh, he's actually literally been blown away. I don't know how he's edited this. Is either a smouldering wreckage or he's literally pretending like he's fighting against a hurricane or something. Either way, he's blown away. How does this connect with MDK in the slightest? Oh, it doesn't? Well, I'm not going to lie, this song slaps pretty bloody hard, so maybe it's better off not trying to understand what's going on at all. Number 6, My Name's Not Shane, the town with no name. This game, this in-game. Sometimes I find rare moments of my inner peace being well and truly shattered by memories of this game seeping into my mind, as it is quite possibly the best worst game I have ever played. For starters, it's a title that was programmed with as much care as a surgeon trying to sew up a bullet wound only to accidentally leave not just the bullet still within the patient, but also the f***ing gun itself. And the audio quality of this, oh my god, it makes the 2 cans on a string communication system look advanced. However, it's the gameplay where this truly both stinks and shines, with sluggish controls and often completely unclear directions as to what to bloody do. This all combines to make for an experience you may wish to escape as quickly as possible, something that a truly bizarre secret ending actually lets you do should you attempt to simply get back on the train that you came in on in the opening seconds. Giving the big, hard pass to this sees your character accosted by a small child who chases after you, calling you Shane, in a direct direct homage to the Western film of the same name. Yet, instead of correcting the young lad, our hero shoots the poor kid dead before smirking and stating, "My name's not Shane." Okay, let's try and wrap my big old egg around this, because that was a bit of a heel turn. Maybe they're trying to say that Western films focus on the kind of anti-hero? Maybe there is no such thing as a hero in the Wild West like this? Maybe that makes sense. Hang on a minute, why is the train floating into space like it's from Back to the Future? I give up, James. This game wins. This game just wins. Number 5. It's just a prank, bro. Castle Crashers. Now, to be clear, Castle Crashers is not the type of video game to take itself seriously, like at all. However, when it came to battering cutesy enemies into pixelated pieces, it was deadly serious and would let you and up to 3 mates storm through utterly insane battlefields in a quest to recover the kingdom's magic crystal and, of course, the veiled princess who is unceremoniously dragged face first across the floor by her kidnappers. While the plot might have been so simple that it could have been scrawled on a napkin and had enough room to draw a picture of a big happy sun pooping out a rainbow onto the face of John Goodman or something equally as brilliant, it didn't matter because you had your 2 clear goals: beat stuff up and get stuff back. However, as anyone who's played Castle Crashers can tell you, it's not exactly a smooth and easy ride thanks to its rather impressive length, which will take you hours in order to reach the ending. And hoo boy, does this game absolutely pie you off when you get there, because you're rewarded for all of your blood, sweat and tears by a kiss from the Princess Fair. You walk over there, you lift up the veil and... what? Yeah, so the reveal is that she is some sort of clown nightmare that would see even Pennywise swiping left. Yet before you can even register which emotion to draw from, a series of bright lights and penguins, yes, penguins, begins to beam across the screen, sending players into a catatonic state of confusion. To try and apply logic to this would be like asking the Mad Hatter to do your taxes. This is a troll on pretty epic levels. Number 4, Lee's Pool Party, Tekken 5. When it comes to video game endings that are pure and utter nonsense, no one does it better than the Tekken franchise. For every semi-serious ending which focuses on deepening one's spirit through fighting or avenging those that were defeated prior to the game's events, we get literally 20 or so more that conclude with farting dinosaurs, CGI lion mask wearing fighters hugging live-action children, and of course, anything concerning the Mishima family tree. Honestly, these guys simply do not understand the concept of toning things down, as across countless titles we see Heihachi, Jin, and Kazuya fire each other into space, drop each other into volcanoes, and of course, in the case of Li Shaolon, the adoptive stepson of Heihachi, a lot more than we probably bargained for. Beginning things as all fighting game endings should, with a pool party and a pair of so tight you'd have to be a Ken doll down their mate's swimming trunks, we see Li lounging around enjoying his victory. Yet it's not long before a dark shadow is cast by the buns of steel that are Heihachi's thick hams. Oh no, the player thinks. Are the pair about to duke it out over the last pool noodle? No, as it turns out, because in a rather creepy move that belongs in its own very niche porn site, Lee turns to his stepdad and asks him to take 2 fingers. Thankfully he's on about getting him a drink, but there was a bit of a worrying moment for a second there. And if you're wondering why this beefy granddad is so docile, it's because he's got a bloody bomb installed into his bow tie. Obviously, it's so simple. What's going on? What's going on? Number 3, Galactus on Trial, Ultimate Marvel vs. Capcom 3. So when it comes to the ever-escalating playground argument of who is the strongest Marvel character, then of course the likes of the Incredible Hulk and, Franklin Richards are going to be included in that discussion, but somebody who should never be left out in the cold is the giant fork-headed devourer of worlds, Galactus. This hungry space hippo gained monstrous notoriety thanks to his rather horrible diet of entire planets, making his presence in your star system a huge worry that would most definitely become your problem soon enough, and therefore fans were ecstatic about being able to take on this Goliath in Marvel vs. Capcom 3's closing bout. Yet out of all of the would-be heroes looking to defeat this guy, none were more unassuming than Phoenix Wright, whose legalese might be hard to understand over the sound of Galactus biting a chunk out of bloody Europe. Still, if players were able to best the beast with right, they were treated to an utterly balmy ending in which not only had Galactus been defeated, but he's now on trial for his crimes. It is pure comedy to see the giant all hunched over in the courtroom complaining about the size of this space, and I love the fact that they put in She-Hulk there because obviously she's a lawyer as well, and Maya's just looking very unnerved by what's going on here. All of this boils down into an exceptional plate of nonsense that I'm willing to eat on for decades, all wrapped up in one sumptuous panel. Number 2, Flantastic, Final Fantasy 13-2. Video games sure do love their comedic time paradoxes, don't they? For me though, Final Fantasy 13-2 actually provides one of the most bizarre, humorous, and downright WTF time paradox endings that I've ever seen, because it left me screaming at the TV, "What did I just witness, Kupo?" In this title, you're tasked with traveling to different timelines in order to sort things out time cop style. But of course, all your meddling can sometimes lead to offshoot scenarios which are kind of like evolutionary dead ends. And one such end is found when it turns out that the King of Flans has taken over the forest and demands gifts in exchange for wiping out humanity. Not wanting to become part of its sticky digestive tract, the group turns into monsters themselves in order to sneak into the king's court and feed it a poisoned dessert to kill it off quickly. However, problems soon emerge when it turns out that Mog, your cutesy little companion, is sick and tired of doing all of the legwork and suddenly plots to feed you a part of the poison flan. Yeah, that's right, your lovable companion is now plotting to kill you, and he laughs maniacally to himself and then just goes into this giant abyss, and I'm just left there thinking, what did I just watch? What is going on here? I don't understand even iota of what I'm seeing. This would be like Cobb turning against me and trying to attack me in the throat. It's not going to happen. Don't even think about it. There's a long line of people who won't see me off, mate. Get to the back. I've lost him now. Sagan's going to be pissed. Ooh. He's actually gone down the back of the desk now. I'm going to have to sort that out afterwards, otherwise the cat's going to be mad. Right. And number 1, the new true secret ending, Persona 5 Royale. Or as I've spelt it here in my script, R-Y-O-A-L. Real! It's the real Rumble. Oh dear me. Now, when it comes to ridiculous stitched-on endings, a lot of players will inflate their tracksuits with guff about how Azura's Wrath did players dirty by charging money for a DLC expansion which also acted as the air quotes true ending to that game. And while I will gladly flare my nostrils and suck up that stench and respond with equally jumped-up hole noises, it's a bit cheeky that Persona 5 Royale effectively pulled the same trick and got bloody applauded for it, thus bringing this whole Persona fans love the smell of their own farts metaphor to a head, and sometimes that head was up their own arses. I love this game, don't get me wrong, but some of the fan base, Jesus Christ guys, there are better games out there, it's not perfect. Just to be clear though, I love this game and I sunk in well over 100 hours into the first iteration of Persona 5 and truly love the dynamic combat system, the engaging narrative, gorgeous visuals, and of course that soundtrack that bangs so hard it left me with bruises. Before we carry on though, let's check in with James. Let's ask James, did you like Persona 5, my friend? Did you like the soundtrack? Did you think it slaps? I mean, you are a bass player, so you know what slaps and what doesn't.
I won't lie to you, Jules. I've not played it.
Whew, yeah, it definitely does slap.
What?
However, what was absolute nonsense was when the Royale Edition came out and added even more gameplay in and of course hid a new, true and totally final ending inside it. Yet the only way to see this ending was basically to max out everything that was new to this edition. The new teacher, the new party member, and then beat every new boss and explore every new area, which, if you know how these games work, is utterly insane. For those not in the know, however, playing the game like this basically means that you'll miss out on a ton of other stuff along the way and skew your playthrough to just seeing this new content, meaning that if this is your first time going through it, you're actually going to miss a lot of things that made Persona 5 so special in the first place. And if this is your second playthrough, it's sheer nonsense in itself to ask players to go through another 100+ hour run for a secret ending they might accidentally miss. And you might have noticed by now that I've not actually discussed what happens in that super secret ending, and there's a good reason for that, and that is the fact that Persona fans are not ones I want to piss off any more than I already did with that opening salvo, so we're going to kind of leave it to them, because otherwise they'll be typing furiously, how dare you spoil this for people who don't have 150 hours to play a video game just to get an ending that they might actually miss. It's a convoluted response, but still, that is what they're like, for the most part. Some of them are really nice, though. I digress. It seems like I'm trying to make a war with the Persona fan base, and I'm really not. And there we go, my friends. Those were 7 video game endings that were utter nonsense. I hope that you enjoyed that, and please let me know what you thought about it down in the comments section below. As always, I've been Jules. You can go follow me over on Twitter at RetroJ0, or you can swing by Live and Let's Dice, where I do all of my streaming outside of work, and it'd be great to see you over there. Who knows? I might stream Persona 5 one day. Ha 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 ha. No, I won't, because that'd be for the rest of my life. Oh, it's a long game. Anyway, yes, hope that you're well. Hope you treat yourself with love and respect, my friends. As I always do at the end of these videos, I just want to pump you full of positivity so that you go out there with love in your hearts, start building bridges instead of burning them, and make sure that you are living your best life, because that is all I want from you, all right? So just treat yourself with that love and respect that I know you deserve. You're a big ledge, and do not let anything or anyone else tell you otherwise. So, with that in mind, I've been Jules. You have been awesome. Never forget that, and I'll speak to you soon. Bye.